Hey everybody, welcome back to Row Country. Today I'm bringing you a Joann's dupe. This is my St. Patrick's Day 2020 wooden shamrock sign. It is inspired by this piece that was available at Joann's. It was $19.99, and worst of all, it is out of stock. But that's okay because Dollar Tree to the rescue. I was able to pick up this wooden piece from the Dollar Tree. It's a shamrock shape and it's cut out of like a balsa wood, so it's sort of thin. I'm also using some Waverly chalk paint. The colors I'm using today are moss and celery and mineral. I'm also using this really fine paintbrush that I found at the Dollar Tree in this 2-pack. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife and a metal ruler. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just remove that piece of twine off of there. I'm never going to use it again, but that's a nice piece of twine with the tag, and no need to cut it off. You can set that aside and use it for something else. So again, here's a look at our inspiration piece from Joann's. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my metal ruler, and I'm going to be sure that I'm able to section this off in 5 sections, sort of copying exactly the shamrock sign from Joann's. I'm using my straight edge and my X-Acto knife to put some lines in the wood, but unlike the heart that I did prior to this in another video, I'll go ahead and link that in the description box below and maybe put up a iCard. I am not going to chip out or separate these lines in any way. I'm just putting down some indentations, if you will, into the sign. And now what I'm figuring out is how I'm going to put down the color, and I decided to do the moss at the bottom, the mineral the next one up, then the celery, then I'll bring the mineral again, and I'll finish with moss. So the moss is going to be on the bottom and the very top of my shamrock, and I'm going to paint this in below the lines that I scored in the wood. The nice thing about the fact that this is, balsa wood, it is easy to score. And this little fine detail brush, to my amazement, actually worked very well. Again, I'm putting down the color below the scored line in this case, but as we move on, you will see that I bring it just above and then just below again. I'm wanting to leave just a tiny sliver of this sign color in the natural state in between the colors that I am painting this. So again, I'm starting with the green and the darker moss, and then I'll put that on the bottom and then also the top. What I really love about these Waverly chalk paints is, one, they super cover very well. It's rare that I ever have to use more than one coat when I use this paint, so I love that. I feel like I get more for my money. I picked these up at Walmart, and I do get the smaller bottles, so really, $1.67, but it does last me a long time, so I really love that. But also, I do tend to decorate in the country farmhouse scheme in my home, and I feel like the chalk paints really sort of give off that country farmhouse feel, so I love that too. So I do want to mention that normally I am the type of person who does decor by season. However, since the new installation of our coffee bar this past year, and I'll put some links to those videos as well down in the description box, I am now decorating my coffee bar more in the seasonal decor, which allows me to spread out and kind of test the waters, if you will, and start decorating by holiday. So since I am country farmhouse in my home, and I normally am sort of the red, white, and blue type of decor throughout my house, this is really kind of stretching my muscles, if you will, in terms of decorating. But I'm trying to bring in any holiday decor that I do into more of the country farmhouse feel. So I am going to be bringing a video soon of how I switched out my buffet from Valentine's, which I did not share, and bring in the shamrocks and the St. Patrick's Day for this year, and how I decorated my buffet to do that. So I'm excited to be bringing that to you soon. I know a lot of channels are jumping into spring already, but honestly for me, I wanted to put together some videos for you all to see how I'm going to be decorating for St. Patrick's Day. Maybe give you guys some ideas of how you can incorporate this holiday into your decor this time. And I'll be bringing that buffet, which will wrap up this series of videos for you guys. And then I'll be jumping into spring just like everybody else is. And I'm excited to do that too. And so here's a look at the sign as we've progressed so far. And now I'm bringing in the mineral because it does kind of go with the burlap color, which is something I use a lot of in my country farmhouse decor, especially in my living room. And I'm actually going to be placing this sign over a wreath that I already have put together for myself. That's not something I'm going to be sharing. I feel like with wreaths, those are a super personal thing, and I really just didn't take the time, sorry guys, to go ahead and record that actual wreath being put together. But this is the sign that will be put on top of it, and I thought maybe if you guys had a wreath that you wanted to zhuzh up this season, this little sign would be a great addition to that. So here I am putting down the mineral, as I said, after I've done the moss and the celery, and you'll notice that with this fine brush I am coming along this line here, and I'm leaving just a little teeny tiny bit of the natural sign color showing in between the colors, and I really felt like that gave it kind of a barnwood look. No, maybe that's not it. Shiplap, that's it. Shiplap. This kind of gives it a little bit of a shiplap look. It almost looks as though separate pieces were put down together onto one piece and cut out into a shamrock. So that's what I really like about this. I do also find this sort of craft to be extremely relaxing. I kind of forgot what it's like to, color and paint as a kid. You grow up and you get into life and you sort of forget about how relaxing these things can be. But honestly, these colors, they go together so well. They're muted colors, I would say. This chalk paint is just absolutely beautiful. And I really feel like it's going to be a great addition to my country farmhouse living room, where I have my buffet that I'm going to be decorating and sharing with you guys very, very soon. So definitely stay tuned for that video. While I go ahead and paint this in, I just want to take a moment to say hey to my returning subscribers. Again, thank you guys so much for coming back and watching yet another one of my videos. I really and truly appreciate every one of you. To those of you who are new here today, why don't you take a moment and consider hitting that subscribe button down there in the corner or down below, and become a member of the Row Country family here on YouTube. I would definitely love to have you, seriously. So here's another look at the Joann sign, and this is how mine turned out. I didn't go with the white on the top. I just felt like this right here is the perfect addition for what I'm going for my decor in my living room, on the buffet for not Valentine's, but St. Patrick's Day this year. I'm switching out from Valentine's. But I also have a Cricut, and I wanted to show you guys the extra step that I took here. And if you have a Cricut and want a copy or to make one of these for yourself, I'll go ahead and leave the link to share that with the Cricut Design Space. That's what I know how to do. So what I used is the font that is free from dafont.com called I Love Glitter, or I Heart Glitter. And I just typed out the word lucky to mimic what was on the Joann sign. And this font allows you to add these little swirlies at the front and the back of this. And honestly, I actually like my font a little bit better than the Joann sign. So that's what happens when you get into doing dupes and things like that. You can really customize it to your liking 100%. So I was very lucky that I was able to do that. appropriately. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sort of measuring out, and I'm finding about 1 inch on either side from each swirl, not really the lettering. And that's how this is going to work out. So the center for me is between the C and the K, funnily enough. And I just put it down with my fingers first, and now I'm coming back and I'm burnishing onto the painted piece. If you've watched any of my other videos and how I use a Cricut and how I put these down, I did take a lot of the stickiness off of this paper or the transfer tape, so that when I take this up, I only remove the transfer tape. I don't remove any of the paint that comes along with it. So this is a freshly painted piece, and I was able to successfully put down the word lucky onto this sign, and there is how it looks. I love this. Now, like I said, wreaths are a very personal preference thing. This is my wreath that I'm using for St. Patrick's Day, and I did just put the center of this down with some twine, tied it around. Guys, this is my St. Patrick's Day 2020 wooden shamrock sign. It is a Joann's dupe. I was able to take something that is out of stock and still bring it into my home. Thank you so much, Dollar Tree. Listen, while you're here, go ahead and watch another video, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, become a member of the Row Country family. I am almost at 1,000 subscribers, so liking this video, subscribing, and even sharing this today would really help my channel to grow, and I would really greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Until next time, bye!